He's also a big old fan of Donald Trump. Keep making America great again, Donnie boy. Woohoo! Now inject me and kill me. This story is, wow. When you can count among your supporters a serial killer who on his deathbed at the site of his execution the other day, he's given the opportunity to give last words. And what does he say? Keep making America great again, Donald Trump. I'm ready to go. Wow. What a ringing endorsement. When you want an endorsement, that's what you want, right? When you're the president of the United States who has foisted upon us fascism, totalitarianism, authoritarianism, disappearing citizens from the United States with cancer to countries they've never been to. When you're disappearing students who write op-eds with opinions that you don't agree with, when you threaten your political opponents, when you threaten commentators, what do you look for? Where can we find somebody to really speak out for me? Oh, a serial killer is on death row? That's my man. Here's the headline from the USA Today. Inmates' last words before execution. President Trump, keep making America great. Every inmate put to death in the United States is afforded the opportunity to say last words. Some apologize. Some express anger or words of love for family. Glen Rogers had a message for President Trump. Look, am I bummed that this guy's dead? I really haven't. I find it hard to find it within myself to have sympathy or empathy for this guy. I am opposed to the death penalty. I believe it is too much power for one state, for the government to have over the citizenry to decide who gets to live and who gets to die. For me, it's more of a libertarian thing where I don't believe the government should have that much power. Also, if you want to get analytical about it, there are so many false positives, so many people who are innocent on death row, especially people of color, especially black men, that it is problematic to have a death penalty. It's just the way it is, the facts. But the guy's dead. You're not going to see me or hear me crying any tears for this serial killer who killed single mothers, stabbed them brutally to death in bathtubs and burned them alive in cars, and then thanked Donald Trump for making America great again. A serial killer used his last words on earth to shout out President Donald Trump on Thursday. Quote, President Trump, keep making America great. I'm ready to go. Glen Rogers, known as the Casanova Killer, said as he lay strapped to an execution gurney seconds before 3 drugs coursed through his veins and ended his life at the Florida State Prison in Rayford. His last words were reported by the Tampa Bay Times and the Associated Press, with reporters representing both outlets as witnesses to the execution. Now, oftentimes, families, I know for foreign viewers of this story, it will seem barbaric, it will seem dystopian, it will seem grotesque, sickening, all of these. And you're right, it is. We live in a broken country. We have for years. The death penalty is brutal and sickening. And in the process of killing, ending the life of a citizen for the crimes they committed, I'm not saying the guy's innocent. He just, death penalty is a little brutal. So, the family gets to be there. There are witnesses watching someone be murdered by the state. Families get to witness the last moments and hear the last words of the convict. And this was the reaction for those in the gallery watching the murder of this man. Randy Robertson, whose mother, Andy Lou Giles Sutton, was a victim of Glen Rogers, witnessed the execution and said that Rogers' comment about Trump seemed to confuse people in the room. I was like, where did that even come from, he said. His wife, Amy Robertson, also a witness to the execution, said she thought, what the hell? Look, this is like every video you see that goes viral of someone getting into an argument in public and then the person, as a way to, I guess, win the argument, like even if it's just a dispute at a coffee counter and someone's like, Donald Trump, they go crazy just invoking the name of their racist dear leader as though that is an argument for anything or an insult. Usually it involves like a black lady, again, at a coffee counter, and then a white man who's a racist piece of shit, and he's, oh, Donald Trump. Like it had anything to do with the conversation whatsoever. And this guy took it to the next level, doing it while strapped to a gurney, getting ready to be executed for his crimes, his multiple murders. In addition to his support for Trump, Rogers expressed his love for family. He also addressed the victims of his crimes. Quote, I know there's a lot of questions that you need answers to, he said. I promise you in the near future, the questions will be answered, and I hope in some way will bring you closure. So it's a wait and see. It's a stay tuned from a fan of Donald Trump, emulating the dear leader of the stay tuned nonsense that our reality celebrity president often does. Glen Edward Rogers, 62, was executed Thursday by lethal injection for the murder of Tina Marie Cribbs, one of 4 single mothers in their 30s with reddish hair who fell victim to the so-called, I'm not going to say his stupid nickname, who fell victim to Glen Edward Rogers. Rogers was both known as this stupid thing that I'm not going to say for his good looks and ability to charm his future victims, and as this other stupid thing because we give nicknames to serial killers like we're ghouls. Ugh. Because the victims all lived in different states, California, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida. He's also a big old fan of Donald Trump. Keep making America great again, Donnie boy. Woohoo! Now inject me and kill me for the crimes I've committed against humanity. A serial killer. Trump supporter. What do you think? I would appreciate your feedback in this. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate it very much. If you appreciate me, if I bring you value and you'd like to help support this work, help me produce these videos, click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or even better, you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and help support this work there. I love and appreciate you very much. Thanks for your engagement. Thanks for your participation in this conversation. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.